Hi there! So today I want to try and make something that's super easy but super important, and that's white rice. Now if you look in the back, I actually have a small rice cooker that I use. The problem is the inner pot is a non-stick surface, and I've been reading a lot about how that could be very unhealthy for you. Besides, I actually noticed that it isn't always non-stick. There's always a layer of rice that's always stuck to the bottom, so that to me seemed kind of wasteful. So when I was looking for a stainless steel rice cooker, I realized that the Instant Pot also did rice among all the other things that it can make, so I wanted to give it a try. So here I have 1 cup of plain white long grain rice that I've rinsed, and then a cup of water. Actually, there's 1.5 cups of water, because according to the recipe book, it says that if you're doing white rice, you should use a 1 to 1.5 ratio. If you're doing jasmine rice, a 1 to 1 ratio. Now that kind of concerns me because normally when I use the rice cooker, I do a 1 to 1 ratio for both types of rice. But since this is my first time using the Instant Pot to make the rice, I'm going to follow the recipe. So first I'm going to take the lid off, and you're going to do a little twist action and then pull it off, and then set it aside. Then I'm going to pour the rice into the pot. Get in there. And then what I'm actually going to do is put the water in the bowl so that I can get every little grain of rice that's in there. There we go. Get in! Okay. Now the Instant Pot also comes with a little rice paddle, which is great. So what I'm going to do is actually try and spread it out just so that it's evenly distributed inside of the pot. I guess that's good. And then all you have to do is put the lid back on and then wait. So make sure when you put the lid on that it's in the right position and that you lock it. The other thing you want to check is to make sure that the steam release is set to ceiling, which is toward the back. If you have it toward the front, it's venting and that's not going to work. And then you also want to make sure that the float valve is at the down position. And then once you have that, all you're going to do is plug the Instant Pot into the wall. So you're going to hear a beep when the machine comes on. And then on the display, you're going to see it say off. So for rice, there is a pre-programmed setting, so I'm just going to use that. So I'm going to hit rice, and then it's going to default to 12 minutes. Now when I was doing research, this kind of confused me because the cooking time only takes 12 minutes. But if you notice, the pot's going to go into the on position right there. And that's actually going to take about 8 to 10 minutes to actually come up to pressure before it actually starts the 12-minute cooking time. So overall, it's going to take at least about 20 minutes to cook this pot of rice. And then at the end, you're going to also have to let it naturally release the pressure from inside the pot. So that takes somewhere between 10 to 20 minutes as well, depending on what's inside of the pot. So I'm going to let it do the cooking and also the pressurizing, and so I should be back in about 20 minutes to see what's going on. So the pot actually only took about 5 minutes to come up to pressure, and then it started counting down from the 12 minutes. So it's only been about 15 minutes and the Instant Pot is already in the keep warm mode, and the clock is already starting to count up. What I'm going to do is actually leave it and let it naturally release the pressure from inside the pot. Because in general, when you cook rice, you want to leave it inside of the rice cooker for about 10 minutes after it's done cooking anyway. So I want to see if I can get the same type of rice out of this pot. Also, if you do the quick release, you might get a lot of steam since there's a lot of pressure in the pot, and that's a little dangerous. So I want to try and let it do its own natural release. So I will come back in maybe 8 or 10 minutes and then see if it's done. Also, you can tell if it's completely depressurized by that valve in the back there. That would be the float valve. It's way at the top position, so that means there's a lot of pressure inside of the pot. You also want to be careful and not touch anywhere near the stainless steel outer part of the pot because it's going to be very, very hot. So I will be back in about 5 minutes to see if the pressure has been released and if I can open the pot. So at about 13 minutes, I saw that the Instant Pot has reached depressurization because the float valve has now gone into the down position. Now what you want to do is also just take a towel and flip the manual release just to make sure that all of the pressure has been released. Now at this point there should not be any steam coming out because it already naturally released. But just to be safe, make sure you don't put your hand or your face anywhere near the steam release. And there you go, no steam. So now what I'm going to do is turn the machine off and actually unplug it as well just to be safe. When you open the pot, you also want to use a towel because the top of the pot is actually still going to be pretty hot. So you're going to give it a twist to unlock, and then you're going to take it off. Now, since there was liquid in there, there's going to be some liquid on the lid, so you want to be careful not to have that liquid drip onto you because it's going to be very, very hot. There you see some of that liquid. Ooh, and the steam is very hot as well. So you want to set the lid aside somewhere where you're not going to burn yourself. And then let's take a look inside. Oh, actually that looks really good. So what I'm going to do is scoop some out and give it a taste, and then I will let you know how it came out. Now if you look at that. Nothing is stuck to the bottom. That is awesome. That is exactly what I was looking for. No more wasted rice at the bottom of the pan. So I'm going to take some out and then give it a try and then let you know how it tastes. So the rice came out a little bit softer than what I'm used to, probably because of all the moisture that was inside from the pressure. So what you could probably do is leave the pot on for a few minutes and sort of let it evaporate. So when I scooped it out, I gave it a little try. It is a little bit soft, but overall it actually tastes fantastic. And the best part is there's no rice stuck to the inside of the pan, so the cleanup is going to be a breeze. And then what I also noticed is when it was cooking, it didn't make any noise at all, so I didn't even realize that the Instant Pot was on. So I think overall this was a success. Maybe next time I will put a little bit less water in there, but otherwise this was a great recipe. So thank you for watching, and I hope to see you again soon. Bye!